Hey everybody, give me a second here. Give everyone a few minutes to connect here today. Excited to run through this trade with everybody. And this is my Discord chat, throwing crazy images in already in the main trading room floor. Give me a second here. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. I'm going to give a couple minutes here, guys, to get through this here. Let people connect. Exciting day, though. I'm really excited to cover this trade. I think there's a lot of things to learn here, whether you're a day trader, swing specialist, long-time trader, options trader. I mean, this was a winner in all categories here. So I'm just hoping the screen works for everybody here as well. It's going to give everyone another 30, 45 seconds here, guys. Filtering out my screen. As my tech person just said, can't see the whole screen, so hopefully that works out. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome. So I'm going to get started, given that now we're not really live in the Discord. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button below. SpudZone YouTube official here. Just sort of created this account because, you know, everyone was asking for it. People want to do live sort of recaps. There's so much to learn, guys, about the markets. And I cannot stress it daily. I cannot stress it weekly, monthly. I really preach this. I really feel that charting is 80 to 90% of the heavy lifting to be a successful trader, whether that's a long-time investor, whether that's a swing trader, whether that is a day trader, whether that is an options trader. You have to master the charts. And once you really do, you're going to start to go outside your comfort zone. You're really going to start to figure out a strategy, a goal that works best for you guys. But today I really want to specifically, and I want to kind of take this slow. I think I ran through the last session. It was Friday night for my first ever public video Friday afternoon. So I'm going to run through this one slowly. It is Tuesday, so I do have a couple more minutes here today. But specifically today, we're going to cover ticker MVIS. As many know, this has been quite a volatile roller coaster ride, to say the least. I'd say the last week or two of trading. Tons of liquidity, tons of charts. It's been pretty crazy, to say the least. So, really want to cover this. I was so patient the last 5 to 7 days on this ticker name. I really always had it locked away in a corner, always watching it, because it does get these volume spikes throughout the day sometimes. And I'm not talking thousands of shares. I'm talking millions of shares, billions of dollars sort of spiking up and around. So and when you have a stock like that, it's fantastic to scalp both ways. But here today, I mean, I was ultra bullish, to say the least. I mean, coming into the day, I had a full-on game plan for this ticker. Before the entire day started, I said, if it hits this 1280 zone, I'm going to add a starter with some size. And so really what happened is I kind of want to walk through why the 12.80 to 1320, 1330 zone, right? We call it a zone. That's why I have the Bollinger Bands right up in front of everyone on the show. And I'll talk through indicators as we get through the lesson. But why 12.80 was a crucial pivot point for me. And that's really where I alerted the big buy alert. I also alerted an overnight starter position last night in the 1350 to 60s range, which was fine. You only went down about 2 to 3% early on in the day. And then obviously that bounced all the way to 16 plus. So you could have made almost 15% there in one day, which is phenomenal. But really want to walk through. So I'm going to talk through two charts today, the daily chart and the 4-hour time frame on this specifically. And this is actually a newer chart for me, or not necessarily for me, for you guys, that I like to show. Is typically I focus heavy on the intraday charts, right? So the 5-minute, 15-minute, sometimes 30-minute bars. It's super quick liquidity in and out type of scalps, right? But today I kind of want to take a big picture approach MVIS because it's had so much volume, and you can really see down in here between 421 now and 5.3, as I mentioned, 7 to 14 trading days. This has had some serious inflow and outflow. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of millions of shares, almost a billion shares probably within that. And that, that's a ton of volume. So why 1280 was a pivot point for me? For a few reasons. So from a chart standpoint, this thing ran all the way to a high of 28. Yes, it had an overextended run, 36%, 47%. Then we saw some red cool off. Then we saw a little cap bounce here on the daily. And then this thing started to just die, 14%, 15%, down another 9% yesterday. And I'm like, where's the bottom on this thing? So I really kind of studied where's the bottom on this chart. So shorts are full in control in the 20s. We saw 20 get rejected. Now we saw 18 get rejected. 16 got rejected hard yesterday. Barely hit 15s yesterday. And so I said, okay, where's really the next big support line? Where is the market makers? When, for market makers, guys, those are the people who not necessarily run your stocks, but control the in and out bids and asks for a ticker. So where is the market makers bullish? Where are they bearish? They're definitely bearish up here. A lot of sells within that range. But, where do they start accumulating again? And so now I take a big approach on the daily chart. I look back all the way back to March, maybe even February, and here when this ticker started to get some momentum. If you look at from the big picture from February, look at this big zone here. We've had this consolidate all the way in this zone, which is a low of about 1150-ish, all the way up to about $19, and 1850 to be precise here, right? It got rejected there, right? So 19 would be heavy resistance. But where was the supports? So this is where I first began my analysis on MVIS. I said, anything below that 13 mark, anything into that 13, 20, 30 mark, I'm going to start accumulating with some size. And so if you look at this candle on the daily here, we have a low of 1218, a low of 1406, a low of 1308. And so, this right here was a bullish sign to me. It got picked out to 1308, and the next day it ran 30%. So right there was really the start, like, okay, 13s maybe could be a good support, but okay, how do I make sure that that's still, another support? Here's a green candle here, right? 1369, 1210. So this range, there was a lot of buying taking place. You go back down over here, look at this huge candle, 50% move. What was the low here? 1278. Okay. What was the low on this candle? 1312. So I start to give a personal range, for this ticker where I'd like to buy. Now let's, that's a couple different time frame. It's the same time frame, but looking at different candlesticks. On average, right, we're seeing 1270 to 1310, 1320. Now let's look at some more bigger candles here. What's this, what's this band here? That seems right about the size with this candle. Oh, 1281, right there again. What's the bottom of this candle? 1353. So there's a lot of buying in that zone across the last 3 months. So I'm thinking to myself, shorts are up, what, 48, 50, 55% in 5 to 6 trading days? I mean, only stupidity comes in at that point. Any large money is taking the 40, 50% gains on the way down. Why risk holding further, right? So I assumed we're going to get a cap bounce soon, whether that's 5%, whether that's 8%, whether that's 12%. Today ended up being freaking 20 to 25% cap bounce. I mean, I did not expect that kind of bounce today. I did not expect to see 16s. To be honest, I didn't even expect to see 15s. I thought 1450 would be the perfect 10% play, and this thing just kept freaking going today. And so really that's when I alerted the larger buy. I added today I'm going to run through the 5-minute here. Sorry, that's after here. And we crushed this trade today. So out of the gates, right down here, I'm going to get rid of the Bollinger Bands because I made my purpose there. I'm going to just simplify it for everyone. So out of the gates, it's about 9:30 in the morning here. We saw a little pop to 381. Then it just died down. Right when I saw these two candles come in, this is where I took a starter position. Took about 50,000 shares here at 1290. Didn't panic throughout the day. Consolidated for about 2 or 3 hours in here. Got a nice bump here to 340s. I was like, oh, maybe today's the day we hit 14s. This looks good. And it started to die down a little bit. Even got down back to low 13s. I added about another 50,000 shares at 13.10 right in here. Right in here when it died down. Oh, sorry, right in here when it died down. So now I had about 100,000 shares at a 13 flat average. And then all of a sudden, these two big candles came in. This was 400,000 shares, which is about 4x the 4 candle chart here in a 5-minute perspective. Then when I saw this 1.5 million, I said, okay, shorts are starting to cover. That was almost a 5% move. Now we hit 1450. I started locking profits here on this spike. Right in the beginning, though, I mean, I left a lot on the table on this trade, guys. But, I hit about 157,000 profits on this one. I started selling 1470s to 1490s. Sold my last batch at 15 even, but I sold a lot within that 1450 range because that was my original price target. I was staying strict to it. But I had no idea 4 million candle would come in. That was a big time short covering, or just big block buyers. I mean, then we had 3 million, and then we had another 2 million. And then this basically just had volume all day long. 1 to 2 million shares across the rest of the day here. Which is a great sign. So if you look at from a larger perspective, 1450 was a resistance, 1520 was a resistance. I mean, we blew that. We already hit 1676 on the high. So if this ticker's strong tomorrow, I'll be watching it again, because if this ticker's strong, the next rounds of shorts could cover around the 17s, 18s. Typically when we see this was an overextended bounce, to my opinion, but who knows? We could see big buyers come in tomorrow or the rest of the week. I don't think this ticker's done. It could hit 17, 18, 19 before falling back and retesting these 13 phases. That's why I alerted a 1 to 8 day swing to your comfort zone. But from a daily perspective, guys, so if this ticker has continued strength, right? We saw drop, 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 dump, dump, dump. We want to see another build up here and maybe test a lower level of this wick, which would be about a 1760. That would be the next sort of resistance, heavy resistance in the 19s, late 19s, early 20s here. So that's really where I'd personally probably look to lock profits in that 17 to 19 range. Now, if this ticker's weak, and this was just a short covering bet cap bounce, we're going to see a retest of those 13s to low 14s again soon. Could be tomorrow, could be end of week. But I think this range down here, this 11, 12 to 13s range is not a bad area for adding. We see that the algos, MMs, they're all pretty bullish right here in these ranges. You've seen big bounces off these ranges. And that's really my trade for today, guys. This was the big home run grand slam. Ran over 24% since naming it, down 8% on the day off the bell. Ran all the way to green, plus closed 11%. So there was a ton of range here. Left a little over $200,000 on the table on this ticker name. But, I haven't had the best month last month, so I wanted to make sure we start out the month, really green and great here. I'm starting to see some momentum come back. We've seen BTX, we've seen RHE. RHE was a monster 200% call for the team the last couple of days. Obviously had a cool off day with BTX today. I don't think those names are done either, guys. It's all about your patience, your entries, your exits. And as I mentioned, guys, charting is everything. It's really 80% of your legwork. You can master these charts and you're going to, outbeat the market, outbeat other traders, outbeat the large funds. It really becomes a true skill set and, an expertise that you can create for yourself. But really wanted to cover this trade specifically today. And I know it's different than normal intraday trades, so this is more of a swing type of approach when you look at the daily chart, and this is what I look for when I look at my swings. The volumes coming in and out down here, the Bollinger Bands, which I just showed. Those are really the two key elements that I use for a swing trade. And then I love to look back in previous history. Where was the buying done? Buying was done here. Buying was done here. Support again here. Buying done here. So there's a lot of support if you look back 3 or 4 months. So that is why I sort of start to size in here. And honestly, there was a little luck involved today. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think today was going to be this crazy of a bounce day. I was hoping 2 or 3, 4% green. We got 11% plus. So I'm really excited. I feel like small med caps, even some large caps, are slowly starting to crawl back. Markets are, getting torched index-wise the last couple of days, but some of these stocks are really holding up well. So that's always a really good sign where we had the markets hitting all-time highs and a lot of stuff wasn't moving. If you've noticed, the indexes were flying, but S&P was doing great, Dow was doing great, but some of those med to large caps were barely moving, if not dying out. So we're starting to see some more inflow into these sectors. And these are the sectors I really want to make focus on this month, throughout the next month, because I think there's a lot of liquidity and a lot of money to be made on these names. Not only to forget, I alerted $13 calls at about $12.80, $13.20 where I took $13.20 where I took my size in this morning, and those calls hit for about 100 to 150%. We do have options in the Discord trading group. If you're not a part of my Discord, I highly suggest you should be. We have over 15,000 members, thousands of paying members. Highly great community to learn from, along with some fantastic, phenomenal trades throughout the day and week. You can see that click in the bio. But yeah, so guys, this is my coverage here on MVIS. Super excited for the month. Hopefully this is helpful. Any feedback, remarks, drop a comment below. I try to get to everyone's comment. I try to keep this as engaging and personable as I could. I want to be that, super transparent, consistent trader for everyone in the server, whether it's my public social media, whether it's here within my student coverage here in the Discord, whatever it is. I'll try and answer everyone's DM. I get about hundreds per day, but I still try and make efforts to make my rounds. So do shoot me a DM, drop a comment in the YouTube section below, right in the main trading room floor in the Discord. Let's get it going. Any feedback, criticism? This is only the second session. I do see these sessions only getting better, so I really want to hear your guys' feedback. I really hope this session was helpful, guys. Looking forward to hopefully doing a ton more here this week and into next. Have an awesome day, and let's get after it again tomorrow, team. See everyone later. Cheers.